Hi everybody, Ricky here. Today we're going to take a look at the lights at Wal Mart and take a look at the different lights on the light aisle and see what the differences is in light bulbs. As you can see on the table here, I already have some that I've had for a long time laying around, so before we get going to Walmart, I'm going to take a look and show you some of these light bulbs here. Picked this up like a few months ago, but it's daylight bulbs. It's got the 5000K, I believe. These are dimmable, so if you got a light switch dimmer, you can dim them. They're the newer technology in that they got these new little stick filaments in them instead of the old school little round beady looking LEDs that you used to find. So these are the ones to look for. These were the great value, cheaper kind, so I got these cheaper. But they use a little bit more wattage at 8 watts, but these are the daylight bulbs anyways. And then over here, a while back, I picked up some Philips lights. These are the softer whites at, let's see, 3000K, which gives you that warmer glow, you know, like if you want to have it like in a theater room or somewhere you don't want it as bright, but you want some light in there. The daylight bulbs are better for like studios and, you know, places you want bright, especially outside, you know, for security lights too and everything, or, you know, just anywhere you need brightness. Difference in these, they use less wattage, these Philips. They look a lot the same though too, but they got thicker filaments on it, so it helps it put out more light and use less wattage. Put these back in the box real quick. But let's see how much wattage this one uses. This uses 4.5 watts. The warmness or the brightness of the how many Ks they are, the daylight or the warm light, that doesn't make a difference. What makes a difference that you're going to be looking for is the lumens on the box, not the wattage. Because for instance, this one puts out 810 lumens on it, and it says it's a 60 watt bulb and uses 4.5 watts electricity. Well, this one over here says it's 800 and it uses 8 watts. So this one's actually a little bit brighter than this, even though this is a day bulb because of the lumens, but it uses less wattage. But wattage is just more about energy efficiency, where the lumens are more about the brightness. And you'll hear that word a lot in video projectors, because you'll see that as apparently on there too. You want as many lumens as possible, because you can always get a dimmer switch and turn it down, kind of like a ring light, you know, that's like in a background. Like I got a ring light, you know, and behind the scenes here, so I can turn the brightness up and down to do a white balance, right? So it's the same thing with these light bulbs. Not all of them are dimmable, but you will see it on the box. If it's dimmable, it'll tell you, and it'll tell you if it's daylight, the K, and the wattage and the lumens. Here I have an original old school first generation light bulb. It even has the John Old heat sink on it, so that's kind of funny. This thing generates a lot of heat from being one of those old school bulbs, so you couldn't have it like encased in a glass or anything, because this would get hot to the touch, kind of like the original incandescent bulbs. Here's an adapter I picked up a long time ago at Wal Mart in the where the power strips and the cords are and everything, and it turns it in one light bulb socket into two light bulbs. So these are good, these little light socket things. I use them for like power outages, you know, with like solar panels and power inverters and batteries. I've had this a really long time. I actually still have the original box to it. But it still works and everything. And then here I have some old school original incandescent bulbs. So you can see. At one time they were saying they weren't going to make these anymore, so that's why I picked some up, you know, just to have for nostalgia. And then they decided, well, we're going to start making them again, though I really don't use them because they draw too much electricity and draw up the electric bill real high. And then this one's another incandescent bulb, but they kind of didn't put that bright of a filament in it because it claims to be 100 watts. It's an old Westinghouse one, and I bought it around the time when like this bulb was out, but I've had it up in the cabinet, and it says it's only 1190 lumens, but it says it's 100 watts, but actually that's probably more about a 75 watt bulb, because what you're looking for is about 1500 to 1700 lumens for a 100 watt bulb. And this one's an old incandescent too, so they probably just didn't put that bright of a filament in it when they made it. But this was like a on sale brand, so I picked it up a long time ago, and I hadn't used it in a long time because, you know, these incandescent bulbs use a lot of electricity. Here's your compact fluorescent bulb, and I've had this one for a long time. This one's a good size spiral ring one, and it pulls like 20 watts, I think, and puts out like 135 watts of light since it spirals in a ring. You think of these more as like a neon bulb. It's filled with a gas and it works a lot. It pretty much is. It's just a white neon bulb, basically. A lot of these compact fluorescent ones. It just, you know, like for instance, here I have another compact fluorescent, and this one's in green and it lights up. This one's supposed to be a party bulb they sell in the sections, and picked this up a lot of years ago. Here's another little nifty gadget. This has a plug on it with the socket. You can put these like on power strips or something. I usually use these for like, you know, you just need light in somewhere real quick, or you can put it on a power strip for like a power outage, like you're using solar panels, like I said earlier. And you basically just screw your bulb in there and plug it in. Another thing to always watch for too is if you're using 110 to 20 volts or using 220 to 240 volts. Most in America are going to be on the 120 volt system, except for stuff like electric dryers and electric stoves and water heaters, electric water heaters. A lot of stuff overseas though is going to be more on the 220 to 240 volts. And that's pretty much all the light bulbs I've had, you know, laying here for a while. So I thought I'd show these before we go and take a look at all the stuff they have at Wal Mart. I found some real cool stuff though. So let's get up there and take a look at it. G has color selects. Look at that. You can like switch between 3000K or 5000 or 6000K. That's really cool. That's what kind of lights we need there. Yeah, look at all these. I like those filament ones that look like more like the old school filaments. Those light up better than those tiny LED lights that you see on the older models, but there's all kinds of LEDs here to choose from. Some even turn yellow for the outdoors and stuff to attract bugs and stuff. Got the daylight LEDs right there. Got the soft whites. It's pretty much what all of them say. But there's actually a there's a soft white. It's like the 3000K, and then there's like a mid white. And then there's the daylight one. You have all the wattages. That's usually what it pulls, like I was saying earlier. But it like comes down to the lumens on the light, because that's what'll show you, how bright it's gonna be. Typical lights and stuff. Not too much to them. Though some of them are innovated a little bit and stuff. The greatest thing of all is you're saving a lot of electricity with these LED lights. Of course, they always raise the electric bill though, right? Here's all the outdoor lights. They all look cool. You can like add decorations and make it look nice indoors and outdoors. I think that Better Homes and Gardens like a TV show or something. So that's probably why they probably collaborated with like Wal Mart or something to sell those Hyper Tufts, the Wal Mart brand. That one's got like a little solar panel on it, that heart one, so you can like just run off a battery. That one's got solar and motion sensor for outdoors. See, those are little bead LED lights there. Those don't work as good as those other ones do. They're better than no light at all, but the filament ones, they just have more light. Here's all the ceiling fans. They kind of combined them in there and stuff. But might as well look at them too, since they're on the aisle and stuff. That one looks like a leaf. That one looks old school, like 1940s, so that's a trip. You don't see like too much of that. That one was kind of like Art Deco or something. That's what they called it back in the day. Got some wood panel looking ones. That one's kind of a trip. It's got like a round housing on the light and stuff. Those look like some typical ceiling fans. Just some wood grain. Got the light cherry wood or the dark wood. Got the white ones. That one kind of looks like a charcoal gray. Got some more of the standard ones you usually see. And then there's the smaller ceiling fans. Usually the smaller ones use less wattage too, so they won't use as much electricity, but they won't whirl as much, wind. There's those LED lights, and there's some of those color change LED ones. That one's actually said it was a fairy bulb. I guess it twinkles or something. These are cool. These are all like the turn them on with your cell phone lights.
That one looked like it put out patterns and stuff. Looked like that little remote you could buy too. Those are kind of like had whirly filaments on it up there at the top on those Better Garden ones. So they are again whirling around in circles. That's a trip. Most of the standard ones are just like filament sticks. That one looks like it curls over inside the light bulb, and those other ones kind of look like a slinky kind of cross-shaped pattern. Then these are more like kind of ceiling fans and can put around there. Those big A10 bulbs, like your standard bulb though, most of them will fit in that like light socket where those tinier bulbs go and stuff. You usually can just put those in there because I got like tiny bulbs with my ceiling fan, and I just put like these smaller bulbs here. I just put like a larger bulb in there, especially since it's low wattage and LED. But if you like the tinier bulbs, some do have the tinier sockets, as you can see. So if you have a tiny socket, then you usually got to go with the smaller bulb, or you can use a bulb adapter. Usually you can find those like over with the power strips and the extension cords and stuff. And then you got some little ones. Got the kind of makeup mirror bulbs there. Those look more like the night light bulbs, which also resemble Christmas light bulbs. That's a trip. That one looked like some outdoor kind of decorations and stuff. Because those all look like lanterns. They look pretty cool. Look at those right there. Squish table lights. That looks cool. It probably glows. Yeah, I guess it's a tap light. It glows different colors and stuff. These are like more of your standard office type looking bulbs, or under the counter bulbs. Kind of, they don't light up super bright, just kind of an accent to the counter. There's some of the little string lights you can string around the place. Some of those are more like for the closet, those little lights you can put up or under cabinets. They work good on bookshelves too if you like to showcase stuff. That's like a shop light. Those big giant ones are like what you see in offices and schools and all that. Usually in garage lights. They put them like in all those places, you know. That's where you'll usually find them. That one's like a giant shop light you can hang from a chain like anywhere in a shop somewhere. These are those real bright ones, and they're socket fan lights. That one's 5500. That's super bright. I mean, we're talking about some serious brightness here. This one's the brightest one, the 8000 lumens, 800 watts, or 800 watts, and it uses 80 watts, 88,000 lumens, and it's dimmable. But that light, I guarantee you, that's the brightest one they sold in the store that I could find, and that won't let you down if you're looking for some brightness. It's gonna shine super bright for you. That one's got a speaker. That one is real cool, and that one's got a speaker. So like you can have light and have a Bluetooth speaker. That is like totally awesome. And then right there in the corner, there's actually one of those bug lights, you know, like the bug zapper lights. There it is again. And it zaps.
Wow, there were so many choices up there at Wal Mart, so much stuff to look at. I thought was really cool was those ones that had the little slider light switch on the bulb, because you could adjust it being from cool white all the way to bright white. daylight. So that was kind of cool, you know. They should put that on all the light bulbs, like the ring lights. And then you don't have to choose while you're picking them. Think about it at the store. If they just did that, I mean, you know, that's a game changer right there. You know, they need to like implement that on all the light bulbs and stuff. And then I also thought was really cool was those Bluetooth lights that had the Bluetooth speaker built into it, and you had light there. And then like if you put them in a ceiling fan, you could have up to like 4 speakers and 4 lights. That's pretty cool. And anywhere in your house, I even had track lighting. You could just have a bunch of Bluetooth speakers in there. I thought that was real cool. The brightest light I saw in there was 80 watts, and it put out 8,000 lumens, which is equivalent to about 500 watt incandescent light bulbs. So that's really bright. Basically like kind of like a work light or something, you know, like a lower work light, because some of those work lights can go up to 1,000 watts or 2,000 watts if you go looking for those. But you know, these are all like house bulbs and security bulbs for like outdoors and stuff too. So yeah, they had all kinds of stuff. And then they had those big long fluorescent lights like you usually see in offices and everything. They even had some giant ring lights, and they still have the spiral bulbs. But you know, majority of everybody's gonna go for the LED because it's just efficient. They don't break easy. That's something I didn't mention earlier. These neon and these bulbs can break easy if something falls up against them. So you gotta be more careful with these that they don't break. Whereas the LED ones are more like indestructible compared even to the original incandescent lights. But it was fun going and showing you the aisles at Wal Mart. So I hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed the video. Hope you got good vibes going on and everything. Having a good time. Party on, and see you at the next one.